And now, upcoming events. Now is a great time to take advantage of the workshops and events offered at the Hibulb Cultural Center and Natural History Preserve. On March 7th at 5 p.m., the Hibulb Cultural Center will be hosting a weaving gathering in Classroom 2. Bring your weaving material, work on your projects, build skills, and share your beautiful woven art. Then on March 10th at 1 p.m., the HCC will be hosting their Culture Series in Classroom 2. Dereck Stonefish, from Arming Sisters and Reawakening Warriors, will demonstrate his beautiful quill work. The event is included in the cost of admission. For more Hibulb events, check out the schedule at hibulbculturalcenter.org. The Snohomish County Regional Job and Resource Fair is being held on March 28th at the Armed Forces Reserve Center in Marysville. Veterans are invited to attend from 10 to 11, then the fair will be open to the general public until 2.
Actually never been in the Tacoma Dome, so this is a really cool experience. As soon as I walked in, I was looking up all around, and it was just huge. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and all my friends were talking about how they're kind of nervous, and I was just excited. I was pumped to get in here.
Bonus points win this thing, but you worry about your match, okay? Support your teammates, keep your head in this thing. We're pretty excited. Okay. Hey,
bonus points count, guys.
Hey, they do keep the team score. We got a 15-point push every time you carry, you got an extra difference. Let's go. Debbie Bowman, you got us.
Tomahawks on 3. 1, 2, 3.
My name's Michael Craig, 10th grade. My weight class is 195. Last weekend's districts went better for me than I feel like last year it was, because I pinned a lot of people, but I lost only 2 matches, but I placed 5th, which is better than last year. I placed 6th last year. So I felt a lot better about my skill than I did last year. I was JV the whole season, and I feel if I'm going into the district tournament where it's like mostly varsity wrestlers, I felt kind of like less confident because I was on JV the whole time. I didn't have any experience, facing varsity level wrestlers. I feel a lot better knowing that I have a chance to, pin some guys and not just get pinned. I just feel a lot better knowing that I've improved.
He's doing his best wrestling right now. And as a coach, you always want your guys to be the very best in the year. He had 3 pins in that tournament, and we're excited for that. He went to regionals last year, but with not near the skills that he has now. And so I think he's hungry. He's very hungry.
Nicholas Cantu, 11th grade, 126 pounds. Friday, wasn't really warmed up because I had a first round bye. And then in my second round, I texted the guy, and day 2, started to not think about the match as much as I should have, and I ended up losing in overtime by getting taken down. Should have wrestled more smart. Didn't really think about it as much. I was too gassed, so I got to work on endurance more.
Nick's another one has put himself in a nice situation. He wrestles with an incredible amount of passion. His best strength is he goes hard. He really, really goes hard, and so that's one of the ones we're hoping for, and I believe he'll have a great tournament.
My name's Joseph Lawrence. I'm in 12th grade. I wrestle the 285 class for the Marysville Pilchick Tomahawks. Having this be my last season, I'm just making sure that I do everything perfect. I plan to take first in state, if not place really high at least. Everything else is pretty much normal. I mean, I work a lot harder this year than I did last year, and I'm a lot more focused. and I feel like I'm a lot more humble this year, nicer to my opponents, and I feel like that's paying off in the long run. That first match, I was taking it pretty easy. I didn't want to wear myself out for the last match. He was a pretty good wrestler, he was all right. I knew I could have ended it faster, but I wanted to save my energy for what really counted. My championship round in districts was pretty good. I wrestled a kid named Duncan. I was pretty excited for it because we always wrestled in freestyle, wrestled about 3 times before that, and we were talking about wrestling each other during the season that year, and we got to, and I guess we got to see her work harder.
Jordan's got to keep on keeping on. I know it sounds kind of goofy, but he's had a phenomenal year. He's only lost 2 matches, and he just has to keep doing what had him here. He's a hard worker. He's probably working right now in the background. I mean, he's stays after every practice. He has done the job, and now he's got to believe in that and just keep it going. So I just wanted to kick the week off on that, saying, hey, I truly believe every one of you is we're gonna have a great tournament. And there's gonna be downs. You might lose a match, come back, but we're gonna keep our heads on our end and keep it on your end. You have to give yourself a good workout today. We're gonna do some rope skipping, we're gonna do some running. We wanna kind of bust our legs down again, same as last week. Try to have a tough Monday, Tuesday, and then pull it off, okay?
He's not down. Pull forward till he's down. Oh, pull forward. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40.
Our kids have been wrestling out of their mind, really. The key down here is to win 2 matches before you lose 2 matches, and it's really important for that. But we've got 7 total kids with 2 alternates, so 9 total, I guess. And it's kind of late in the day to hope for your alternates to get in. They've already made our announcement. So we got seven wrestling hard today, and hopefully our alternates will get a shot next year.
If I were to have gotten in, I would have performed really good. I was really healthy this morning. Felt really good. Had a good night's sleep. I felt mentally prepared for what was going to go on today if I were to get in. Didn't end up getting in. It was a bummer, but we're going to come back next year and we're going to show everyone what we're made of. And a year from now, we're going to be talking about how great it feels to be a state champ. That's what we're going to be talking about.
Big Joe Lawrence, he's got just the right amount of a little bit of cockiness, a little bit of arrogance to him. So he knows that whoever steps across the mat has not worked as hard as he has. I talked to him about his bracket a little bit, and he goes, I don't care who it is, they're going down. I'm ready for them. I worked way too hard. I'm ready for this tournament. I'm ready to place in this tournament, and nothing's going to hold me back.
First match, I was a little nervous just because it's a big place, but I went out there and I told myself I was going to beat that kid, and that's what ended up happening. He made a few mistakes, and I just feel like my position and my moves that I was using were just a little bit better. So I was sitting there wrestling, and he was in a defensive position and I was, so both of us weren't shooting. A few calls on that part were probably a little unfair because I was getting pushed out of the ring, but when it got into that last round, I wanted to quit so bad, and then coach was telling me, if you get out, you win. And I was like, all right, if I get out, I win. If I can do this, I got it. And he locked his hands up, and I noticed it, and I dropped to my knees and lifted my hands up so the ref would call it, and I'd get a point. And then he tried arguing with the ref, but within that split second he tried arguing with him, I bumped him up, and he flipped over me, and I got a takedown. It all just comes down to who wants it more. I mean, you're sitting there, basically want to die because you're tired. When I got off that mat, I was so dehydrated, my back was hurting. I just wanted to stop so bad, but I knew if I could last longer than him, then that's what makes the difference. I was really upset about that one. Ref called 2 points, shouldn't have counted, I had a leg. But stuff happens. If I wouldn't have taken that shot, probably would have got a stalling call. And if I successfully took that shot, I would have won the match. But if I didn't, who knows, I could have won the match, might not have. It was a lot different. I usually don't get a lot of kids that leg ride. He was really good at it, and had me worried for a second, but I knew that if I was just patient and kept working, and then I'd find something to get him with. I worked really hard to get to here. Last year I wasn't even going to state. This year I took third.
It was sloppy. That's third to state. Hey, understand it? That wasn't your best hunt, but you gutted that out. Does that make sense? Okay? That wasn't your best look, but nice gut out. Nice job, okay? So,
fishing changes all the time. Patterns change all the time. And you learn what those changes are and you adjust to them all the time. Today we're seeing changes that we've never seen in the past, environmental issues. You look at the big picture, we always got to focus on it. It's even getting more scary. The stuff that's going on, the stuff you're seeing, the challenges we're up against. I don't know if anywhere in time that's been like that in the past.
We look out for 7 generations, and it's hard to sit here right now and to say 3 or 4 generations ahead of us. How well are we doing? We're like the canary in the caves. We're the alarm. We're telling people we need to change things for a future.
You can watch episodes of Northwest Indian News every day on Tulalip TV. You can also find all episodes of Northwest Indian News online at nwin.tv. This week on Tulalip TV, be sure to watch Hibulb Conversations, Making of an Exhibit.
One of the missions of the Hibulb Cultural Center and Natural History Preserve is to teach the history of the Tulalip tribes through its displays of artifacts and collections. We are grateful that Tulalip families have donated many items to the center for preservation and protection. Senior Curator Tessa Campbell and her team put a lot of time and effort in creating a new exhibit so it includes items that are of interest to the community, as well as be a teaching tool for the many school children that visit our museum each year. Today we learn that changing out an exhibit is a complex process requiring research, coordination, and timing. Welcome to Hibulb Conversations. I'm Michelle Hernandez, and today we're here with Tessa Campbell, Senior Curator of the Hibulb Cultural Center. We're going to discuss what goes into putting an exhibit together. Welcome, Tessa. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hibulb Conversations, Making of an Exhibit airs 3 times a day on Tulalip TV. This week on Tulalip TV, be sure to watch Hunting in Wartime.
A whole graduating class of 1966 went in the military, with the exception of the girls.
I was a fisherman. My draft letter came from the President of the United States. It says, Dear Anthony G. Mills, you are now inducted into the Armed Forces. Signed, the President of the United States.
I volunteered for the services because my older brother had 2 kids, and one was still shitting yellow, you know. I wasn't going to go to school no more. I told my brother that I was going into service for him, and he got mad, but, you know, that's tough.
Well, I knew it was in the Orient, but I didn't know where. So we all started looking at the chart. We didn't have much of a TV here then. Just 1 or 2 people had it. Most of the time we just go to the movie hall and see it on the newsreel.
When I went through the basic training, our first sergeant, he come across a couple of Indians on base there, and he says, you give me 20 push-ups. He was telling those Indians. He didn't say anything to those white soldiers. Colonel come over. How come you're so tough on the Indians? He said, I know these Indians. They're from my hometown. They're tough. And they could take it.
Hunting in Wartime airs at 11 a.m. and 9 p.m. every day on Tulalip TV. Also this week on Tulalip TV is What Was Ours?
Ajin nama oyor, nama nunga oyor, tan Dereck igi chike wat. Haganik ana butu mepa, una suwazia. Nama nunga una sandaik, una sundawak buwash.
A lot of things are lost. Most kids don't know about how we used to be in the old days. That knowledge is fading away. We're not going to really know everything now.
Arapaho and Shoshone people have always wanted a museum on the reservation. Asking to borrow our artifacts, when people hear that, they're like, why do you guys have to ask? They're ours.
A lot of the stuff that was gone from this reservation is stolen. We have lost it. We need to bring those articles back.
What Was Ours can be seen at 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Tulalip TV. This week on Tulalip TV is In His Own Words with Frank Madison.
To know Frank Madison is to understand what he stood for in his 79 years. A man who gave his all to his family, his tribe, and his country. Frank's story is as deeply personal as are the story poles he carved and treasured. He learned carving from Chief William Shelton. Throughout his life, he cared for the iconic poles. It is with the same grit, Frank was determined to make sure our tribal culture is kept alive. A respected Tulalip elder, the beloved husband and father of 10, always loved his Indian people. He is known as a carver, a historian, and storyteller. In a series of interviews, we hear his stories. It is a privilege to hear his words.
In His Own Words with Frank Madison airs 3 times a day on Tulalip TV. And now the Tulalip Bay Tides Report for the week of March 5th. Tulalip Matters is a production of Tulalip TV and the Tulalip Tribe's Communications Department.